Good evening. Welcome to tonight's show. My guests this evening are Kahl, President and CEO of Adventure Web Interactive, and Rachel Payne, Senior Digital Strategist. And I'm not so sure, but Scott Hughes said to use his name. The title is whatever out there.
We can go with Project Strategist.
Okay, thank you. Anyway, first question I always ask, I'm going to start with Craig, since he's the President and CEO. What motivates you to get up in the morning and go to work?
It was interesting. Rachel and I were talking about that earlier, and she says, my kids. And I'm like, the more I thought about it, I was like, my son. But ultimately, I love what we do. Adventure Web is now 22 years old this June, and it's never day has never been the same. Technology is not the same this year as it was last year. It's certainly not the same it was 20 years ago. So our world is ever changing. We go to work. We get the greatest team on the planet, bar none. The way we when you walk into our office, there's a big banner, and it says a unique family, and each and every one of them are so unique, and I really truly believe that we're all part of the same family. So besides the money thing that you need to survive, family thing that I want them to all have a great life, my coworkers are the reason I show up every day. Okay.
And Rachel, what motivates you to get up in the morning and go to work?
So again, when we were talking about it earlier, my first thought were definitely my kids and my husband. That's why I get up and go to work every day. But also, for the last 20 years, I've worked with small businesses here in Baltimore and helping them with their marketing. And as marketing has switched into the digital world, a lot of businesses are lost and don't know what to do with their marketing dollars. So that's what I do. I like to help them understand the best way to invest their money.
And Scott?
Right. Thank you, Allan. I find, these days, piggybacking on Craig, it's an ever-changing digital landscape. Right. And I like to think of myself as a sponge trying to soak up all the new things that are coming out there. And to be able to help other businesses understand this and navigate it is just what brings me together.
Well, you talked about 22 years ago, and think about the changes. Google is only 20 years old. Mm-hmm. So you started in this business before Google. So for those listening out there, if you think about the changes in technology and the internet and web, in the 20 years of what's going on, just think about the changes you've had to go through to build your business and to continue to grow.
One of the interesting statistic when we talk about that, because first everybody talks about internet, Google. At one time, Yahoo controlled 82% of all searches online. So Google was insignificant. When it was a baby, that's all it was. It was nothing to Yahoo. Yahoo didn't even see them as a competitor whatsoever. And now it's reversed. Google now controls between 82 and 84% of all internet searches, and Yahoo's pretty much insignificant.
And Google's become a verb, not just a noun, a name. Mm-hmm. We talk about Googling something.
Google it.
Yeah. And so there are a lot of things, if we wanted to talk about trademarks, which is a different topic, you could go into that discussion. But we want to talk a lot about web marketing, web advertising. So what are the big trends that are happening right now in web marketing, web advertising?
Well, I think the biggest trend in moving forward, Google is no longer what we call a search engine. Google is a content engine. Content is driving placement within Google and search engine rankings. In addition to that, Google makes billions of dollars every single day with Google. It knows it can make the same amount with YouTube. So the future moving forward, video is going to have the biggest impact on the internet than anything imaginable. And one of the things that's so important about it is right now it's the birth of it. This is the first year Google put signals into its algorithm and search rankings based on video being pumped from YouTube. So it's all brand new. Even in this February, Google just filed for patents on what's called TrueView. If you ever watch Tucker Carlson, he has this series called Creepy Tech, and it's exactly what it is. Google TrueView is actually tech that's built into search, and it's following you everywhere you go.
I mean, I had a guest on this show at the end of September, and had videotaped and did did a video blog that he 1st of October, and I don't know if this would happen 2 years ago or 3 years ago, but in the last month, he's actually had well over 7,000 views. And I don't know, he's a sales consultant. So all of a sudden, what you're talking about is video is somehow over 7,000 people have viewed it, let alone how many have actually seen it and not even viewed it.
Allan, by 2019, internet 80% of all internet activity is video based. So 80% of people online will be watching some sort of video online. One thing that's important about watching video online and video and a message on a website, the statistics are telling us, Windstream did a great study on it. Viewers retain 95% of a message when they watch it in a video on a website versus trying to read it only retaining 10% in an About Us message when they read it as text. That's huge. The impact that you can make, that businesses can make to their potential clients with a video is just over the top.
Okay, so video is very important. So what about live ads and video ads? How are you working with your clients and in talking? How should the small business and businesses be using video in their marketing?
Rachel, you want
go ahead.
Okay. So
just anybody step in, please. Don't be embarrassed and just join in.
One of the biggest things about YouTube and Google, we all know they know everything about you. They know every little thing you can ever imagine. They're watching what you're entering into your phone. They're watching where your phone is. They're watching, what you're entering at a desktop and a computer. So with video, Google allows us to target directly demographics. So one of our clients can say, I'm only interested in 25 to 35-year-olds that have a college education that live in this zip code. We can narrow it down that and deliver that message to just that group. Imagine with television how much people spend in traditional media, and you throw up an ad on television. Well, 90% of those people watching are probably not even interested in that.
Well, I would suggest
product.
It's 99% aren't interested in the product when it's being advertised, but it's because it creates that brand awareness. So when they do look for it, and they go to the web today to look for it, they'll recognize it because they're familiar with it.
We have a wonderful video that on our website. If you go under marketing and YouTube marketing and watch that video.
What's your website so people can go to it if they want?
AdventureWebInteractive.com.
Thank you.
The Google is we can zero in so specific to any Google actually gives us, says, okay, these are all people that are adventure enthusiasts. So Turpin Adventures is a great client of ours, and they offer all kinds of rock climbing adventures, zip line. So we can target people that are exactly interested in those particular items through a TrueView video. So TrueView video is not just YouTube. So everybody goes on YouTube and they watch cat videos or kid videos. Well, those videos that are spun up in front of you, those are all TrueView. The skip ad, you can skip it. And one thing about skipping right now, it doesn't cost anything. If a client orders TrueView video and they skip it, there is no cost whatsoever to anybody.
So what I'm hearing, and we only have about a minute before we have to go to the commercial break, that through the data mining that's out there and Google knows about us, if you're interested in rock climbing and you go on your search engine, there might be an ad coming up that for rock climbing because it's something you've shown an interest in the past. Am I correct on this?
Yes.
And with Google, you don't have to pay for it if it's on Google until they click on it. Right. The getting it to the consumer is free based on the I don't know how it's done, and then all you're doing is then paying pay per click if they click on it.
Right, and so that's traditional display network also allows us to do the same thing. Target a specific demographic, this age, this income, this zip code, these interests, and deliver our client's message directly to that, saving our clients tens of thousands of dollars over traditional media. It's amazing, right? Because we're actually thinking about running a radio campaign soon as well. Okay,
let me. We got to go to a commercial break. When we come back, I'm going to continue this conversation on the web and the internet with Kahl, Rachel Payne, and Scott Hughes from Adventure Web Interactive. Later in the show, I will have the AHA Trivia Contest, when the winner will receive a gift certificate to Touche Touchette Bakery Cafe in Elkridge, Maryland. I'm Allan Hirsh of Allan Hirsh Advisors, and this is AHA Business Radio on CBS